Hey everyone, James here, and let me tell you something. I made 2 videos earlier today, and I bet you're wondering if they're available right now, and the answer is no, because there's a technical error followed by another technical error followed by a whole lot of frustration, maybe a little bit of cursing, and it all went to hell. But I'm still here giving you a new video because I think that there's something we can learn from it that will apply to music careers, both musician-wise and professional, moving forward. Now, who amongst us hasn't been where I was today? You get really excited to make something, you set out to make it, and then when it's done, it's not what you expected it to be. And even worse, it's so bad that you really can't give it to the world. I mean, I filmed a video, it looked perfectly fine thanks to the recent upgrades that we made here at the studio, but there was no audio. And because of how I make these videos, I didn't have a script that I could easily just dub in without it looking like one of those really bad American versions of a Godzilla movie from Japan. It was just a disaster. And after I kicked and screamed and whined about it for a little bit, I got back into the studio and I told myself that I would make the same videos all over again. And you know what happened? It didn't come to pass because clearly they're not here just yet. Maybe they will be in the future. Maybe when I calm down and I revisit the topics, we'll get there. But I just couldn't do it. Every time I did, I just got more and more frustrated because I was carrying around all of this anger and all of this rage because the thing that I wanted to do and I thought I had done wasn't what I wanted it to be. And worse yet, it wasn't even something I could share with you. And that it just boggles the mind. I'm still dealing with it right now. But then I realized something, and it actually wasn't me, it was my partner who works in mindfulness and wellness and is a lot better at handling problems than I am. And they just told me to take a breath, to breathe, to just let myself sit with how I was feeling and accept it. And I want you to do the same thing in these situations, because I know a lot of musicians who set out to make the next great music video or write the next great song or even just put out a record that they think is going to change things in their career, and then it doesn't. And when it doesn't, you feel like quitting, or at least momentarily you feel like giving up, like throwing in all of your gear, packing up, selling the van, and just being done with the whole thing. But that's okay. I mean, you can do that. It's something that's perfectly a viable option for you. But in the long run, you're going to regret it. Just like I would regret if I didn't give you a video today. Because in recent weeks, I've been struggling with this. I've been struggling with constant content creation. I write a blog, I run 2 podcasts, and I'm making these videos. And some days, it's really hard to sit down in the studio and make content for you and even come up with constant new ideas. But something I've realized recently is that this is what I've wanted with my entire life, is to do exactly this. And I think that if you're watching this video right now, you're like me. Whether you're a musician or somebody that dreams of working in music, you've spent your entire life with that dream. And people have constantly told you it was probably not going to happen, or that it was never going to be the thing you wanted it to be, or that you weren't good enough, or whatever. They've given you reasons to give up, and you have constantly refused. You have denied their requests for you to stop because you believed in yourself. But then something happens, and it's something that happens to you and to everybody else around you. And that's important to remember. And that's that you make a mistake, or maybe you just don't live up to your own expectations. And for whatever reason, that is way more defeating than when somebody tells you you can't do something. Because when you fall short of your personal expectations, that not only proves that you were wrong, but it makes you start to think that maybe everybody else was right. Maybe it wasn't worth putting all that money into that album because it didn't sell 1,000 copies. Or maybe you shouldn't have spent all that money on a music video because nobody's watching it. Or maybe that song you wrote wasn't really as good as people were telling you that it was because it's not the song that changed your life. But if I've learned anything in this industry, it's that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen like a spark or like a lightning strike or anything along those lines. Once-in-a-lifetime moments are most likely to occur when you've made things happen again and again in spite of the setbacks, in spite of the mistakes, in spite of when things go wrong or when they don't work out and become the thing you wanted them to be. I mean, I thought that the video I was going to deliver today was going to be one of the best ones we'd ever made and that would look super good. And now that I'm past it and it's not coming together and it didn't come together the way that I thought it would, I took some breaths, I ate some lunch, I went for a walk, I drank lots of water, I played with my puppy a little bit, and you know what? I'm okay with it. It's not going to defeat me. In the past, I've made videos that I thought were the best thing we've ever made, and they get 20 views. And then sometimes I make things that I think are pretty okay, and they get 10,000 views. And it's really hard to predict what's going to happen. But what I do know is, none of that would be possible if I gave up any time things haven't gone my way. So instead, I'm going to practice resetting a little bit more. I'm going to practice letting myself accept how I feel, decompressing, and then getting back at it. Because at the end of the day, this is what I want to be doing. I want to be making videos for you about the music business. I want to be hearing your stories about trying to succeed in the music business. And I want to be working together to create a better industry for everyone to be in. Whether that means helping you get ahead in your career, giving you advice on music, telling you where to find job listings, whatever it happens to be, that's what I want to do. So when things don't go my way, the video doesn't turn out like I thought it would, or I'm a little late, or whatever it happens to be, instead of throwing everything in and throwing a fit and being a child about it, I'm going to be a grown-up who realizes I've got a lot of life left to live and I've got a lot of videos left to create. It's not like I'm going to make one video and then I'm never going to have to make content ever again. I'm going to have to make another video next week and the week after that for as long as I can possibly make content. And that's what I wanted. That's what I want with my life. Just like you want to be a musician or you want to work in music marketing, whatever it happens to be. It's not like a one and done thing. This is our lives. This is what we're doing. So just enjoy the ride. Take the highs the same way you take the lows and learn to just be with yourself. And if you can do that, you'll be a lot further ahead than I am right now. And I've been at this for a decade. So if you're younger than me and you're watching this, then learn to love your mistakes. Learn from them, yes, but also just learn to love them. Learn to be humbled by the fact that you can still make mistakes and that sometimes things won't go your way, and that's perfectly okay because that's just life. That's how it happens. Now, if I can add one more thing before I go, we've got a lot of content on the way. There I go, making another mistake. But it's true, we've got a lot of content on the way. I've been working really hard to try to upgrade this whole situation, how things sound, how things look, and I think we're finally finding a groove. And as soon as I get this content that I want to create out of me, I think you're going to see that we're doing the best stuff we've ever done, and I thank you for sticking around. If you haven't already done so, and this is your first video, it's probably a weird one to see, but go ahead and click the subscribe button down below, because I promise we try to turn everything into an opportunity to learn something, and not like weird, meaningless motivation. I mean, really applicable things that you can do in your everyday life to get ahead as a musician or a music professional. So click that button down below. And if you've already done so, thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for hearing me out. It's been a frustrating day, but I'm happy to be here with you right now. So at the very least, I can ask that you take care of yourself because you deserve it.